Okay.
But I doubt if you'd use over 7 bags a year.
Oh, really? Okay.
No,
For
so-
a family of 4.
Yeah. I mean, if you look in there 2 weeks from now, you might only, or even a month from now, you might only use 12 pounds.
Okay.
Or 14 pounds. So there's 80 pounds in there. So
Right.
you can't hardly. 14 pounds
That's
is
a
like
lot, right.
calling nothing.
Okay.
But in 2 to 3 months, you'll probably. I would say 2 to 3 months you'll have
Check
to add
it.
2
Okay.
bags.
Okay.
But just and then once you figure it out, then you just know
kinda
you
know, right.
got to come down every 2 months or
So
3 months.
2 to 3
and
months, I should put a reminder just.
Yeah.
2
So
months.
come down
check.
and look at
Okay.
the soil.
Okay.
So he said if we have a flood, that down there, that's the first one to turn off. Like that's the main valve, that guy.
Right here.
Which one? Oh, that
This-
one?
That one there.
Okay.
Or shut your pump off.
Right.
Okay.
So what it is, we just changed that a little bit. It comes over here and down through there and comes up. If you had something wrong with this, or with this, you could turn this off, turn that off, and turn this the other way.
In that order, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you'd still get water
Okay.
to the house. Now, I would turn this off though. 'Cause-
As well.
yeah, because you could leave this on. Turn this off, and this on.
So, okay. All right,
If you had
reverse. So
something
let's do
wrong.
reverse now.
Okay.
So now you're gonna turn everything
Okay.
on.
Here, wait a second. Because I put this other valve up there because I didn't have room left.
Okay.
So, if you had something wrong with the neutralizer, sediment filter, softener, or this,
Okay.
turn this off. Turn that off. And turn this the other way. Then this water would go up here to your house.
It's gonna bypass all the
bypass
system.
everything.
Okay. And it's just straight from the well pump.
So normally this should be closed. That should be open. And that should be open.
Okay.
So the water's coming in here.
Okay.
Goes through the neutralizer, back out. This is going to backwash every 6 days at
Okay.
12 o'clock at night. You'll backwash 6 minutes, then do nothing for 14 minutes, and then rinse for 4 minutes, and then be done.
Okay.
This is just like a clock. So this is just like the time of the day right here.
Okay.
So if the electric goes out and it's 5 o'clock or say 8 o'clock tonight, you just push this in and there's 8 o'clock. This is just like the time of the day.
Okay.
This is AM, this is PM.
Okay.
So right now it's about 3:30. So just do that.
Okay. It's 3:15. Or yeah,
Yeah,
3:15.
this is this time of the day.
Okay.
That's all you got to do with that. And it'll just do its thing. Now this neutralizing material,
How do you set? Do you set in there when you want it to backwash?
It's
Like
going-
if we want to do it at like 2 in the morning, say.
Yeah,
then
or
you
is
would
that
just
not
set the clock different.
Oh.
It's first
okay.
set for midnight right now.
Okay.
So it'll backwash.
That's fine.
You shouldn't have any problem.
Right.
Now this neutralizing material, I don't have a flashlight, but it's about right to here.
Okay.
When it gets no lower than here,
Use your phone.
you'd want to bring it back up to here.
Okay. So wait till it gets done there.
Yeah,
Bring it.
I mean, you could let it go to here or something and then bring it back up to there.
You see?
See where that.
See how it's so you can see the
I
line?
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it gets no lower than here.
And
Now I put a
that's
5 and
crystal.
7,
Right.
so I would put probably a 7, crystal 7 the next time.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then maybe the next time you might need a little bit of 5 to
Okay.
bring the pH. Sometimes the 5 brings it up too much.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
sometimes we got to come back and take out a little bit because the 5 is too high.
Right.
You know, your pH is 9 instead of 7 too.
Okay.
Now, how often do I change that thing?
So when you
See
add
when
when
it's
you add
ready.
this
Oh, right.
material,
Okay.
if you wanted to come up to our store and get a bag and do it yourself, because we can come once a year and do everything,
And
but,
you do
but
that.
this might be lower than here in a
Okay.
year.
Okay.
So you could add this material yourself.
Oh, you can.
So what you would do right here, it tells you how to do it. But when you add this material, you turn this off, that off.
Okay.
Take this off, open this up, drain out like 4 gallons of water in a bucket.
Okay.
When you get 4 gallons of water in a bucket, close this, put this back on. If you don't close that, it'll just keep coming. So then what you do is you take this funnel, that material's like in a white bag.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it today. Yeah.
It's in them bags. So the best thing to do is put that in a gallon pitcher or something, because if you're trying to hold a bag and look,
Yeah.
it,
It's hard.
it goes everywhere.
Yeah, I
So
want that, yeah.
I put it in a scoop or a coffee can. That's what I
Okay.
have at home, like a big coffee
Got
can.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then just bring it back up to here. Then what I usually do is just open this up. I just open that up about like that and fill it up to about water here. When it's up, if you
okay.
open it up full blast, it'll come flying out.
Oh, okay.
And if you put the cap on before it'll be a lot of air in there.
So you'll hear the water come flooding
Yeah,
back in.
but you
Okay.
just open it up about like that, fill it up to about there, close that, take this and just hand tighten it. I don't tighten it with a wrench. I just,
Okay.
here's a wrench to take it off, but it just
You
seems
just
like it
tighten
gets
with your
too
hand.
tight.
Okay.
So you just hand tighten it, then go like this and like that. And that's all you gotta do with that.
Okay.
Now this filler, you can probably let that go 4 or 5 months. It'll get pretty dirty on the outside, but the inside will be clean.
Those are two
Okay.
replacements.
Here's extra fillers. We can send them
Okay.
out to you if you call us
Okay.
up. You just send them out by the mail.
So you'll see it'll start looking brown on the
You'll
outside.
get pretty brown.
Okay.
Some places you get brown, and like our place, it's like a day I change it, it's bad because
Oh,
we
wow.
have bad water.
Yeah.
We have a lot of iron,
Okay.
but it comes out good.
Okay.
So when you change that, you just turn this off, turn that off. Sometimes I put that in between here, but I was going to run out of room
Okay.
for changing that. So what I do is just put a bucket there. Turn this off, push this red button down. That releases the pressure. When you push that down, you'll get some water come out. Push
Okay.
that down for 5 or
I see. Okay.
6 seconds, and then just take this and turn it off to the left.
Okay.
To the left.
Yeah,
Turn to the left.
to the
Okay.
loose.
Yeah.
So you just throw that filler away, put a new one in. There's an O-ring here.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes that O-ring falls out.
Okay.
So there you can put some lube around that
Okay.
O-ring. And when you put it on there, I just hand tighten it.
Mm-hmm.
Just turn it on and tighten it up.
Perfect.
And then just go like that and like that.
Okay.
Then the softener, you don't have to do anything to. It just, no timer, it just does its thing.
Just the salt.
Okay.
The salt
Yeah.
once it's.
And it just,
And what about this number here?
now this is a UV light.
Uh-huh.
If you had some, I'd put a bypass on this because sometimes I broke a sleeve or stopped on the way home to do somebody's and broke a sleeve. Once a year you should clean that sleeve and put a new bulb in. So I put a bypass on that because some places will have real bad water. So if you broke that sleeve, you can turn that off, and go like that,
Okay.
and you'd still have treated
You
water
put
just
stickers
Like
everywhere.
that. Okay.
going through that. So that should normally be closed. That should be open.
So it
And that
goes
should
up and
be
around.
Okay.
What happened is I didn't have enough of room here
Mm-hmm.
for the feed for the RO. So that's
Okay.
why I put that bypass
Okay.
up there. Now this is 12 months. So
Oh,
an
okay.
alarm will come on in about 11 months and 2 weeks.
Change the
So you
bulb.
can
Okay.
reset it 2 times.
Okay.
When it comes on, you reset it.
Okay.
Now that bulb should last a year.
Okay.
I already had them where I put them in and 2 weeks later it went out.
Okay.
But they'll give you credit for it. and
Okay.
It should last
And
a
an
year.
alarm, he said, should sound if it
Yeah,
stops
like a-
working.
yeah.
Okay.
Or if the
Electricity
Electric-
goes
Yeah.
out.
you hear
Little-
bzz, like,
And what do? You do reset it if the electricity
the
goes out?
no, you don't have to do
It'll-
anything when the
okay.
electric comes
It'll
on. It just
automatically.
when the year's up,
It'll
then you have to
reset.
reset
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, if the electric comes back on, it's just like.
Now,
cool.
do you
It's,
recommend, because he was saying it is a little tricky to clean that bulb just to make sure the most UV light is getting and
yeah,
treating?
it's you can.
once a year.
We
when
can
you're
do that
changing?
once a year. We put
Okay.
new O-rings on,
Oh, you do.
clean the sleeve, and put a new ball in
Okay.
because them O-rings can UV light's bad on them. You know,
Oh, right. Okay.
so you should clean the sleeve.
Okay.
So we just do that once a year.
Any other things we should know? Or
Well, then the drinking water system.
Okay.
If you had something wrong with the drinking water system, this will turn that off.
okay.
Okay.
That's off. That's on. On, off. Now, once a year, this is a pre-filler.
Oh, okay.
The membrane's good for 10 years. This is a mineral filler,
Mhm.
and this is a taste and odor filler.
Okay.
So once a year, you got to change them 3 fillers. Now, this water here, that's from when I was
Yeah, I
sanitizing.
remember
Oh, okay.
Because you get water splitting
Right.
around.
Okay.
So that's all you got to do with that.
Okay.
Then over here, this is where when it backwashes, it goes here,
Okay.
and that goes to your drain.
Okay.
That's the out. Yeah.
to the
Is it
septic.
going to the septic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now,
Then
will that have an effect on how often, like, if we have to get our septic cleaned out more so? If that's- I
not
guess
really.
It's clean water, so.
It's really some softeners use a lot of salt, but this don't hardly use any salt.
Yeah.
It's really not going to affect
Okay.
your system.
And these are where the goes to the kitchen.
Yeah, so this line here goes to your refrigerator.
Fridge,
See
okay.
this little valve up there?
Uh huh.
If you had something wrong with the refrigerator, you turn that valve off.
Okay.
Got it.
And then you could still get water to your
The
sink.
spigot thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
But
gonna
this
turn.
is just a shut off for the
Turn this
refrigerator.